Rotarians and guests, my name is Rosemary Nixon and I'm your MC for today. I'd like to acknowledge the people and the Burrung people of the Kulin Nation and pay our respects to elders past, present and future, and extend that respect to all Indigenous Australians here today. Welcome to our hybrid meeting to those online and in the room. Thanks today will be given by past President Robert Fisher, followed by the loyal toast presented by President Catherine. Please ensure your glass is charged. Thank you, Robert.
Thanks, Rosemary. Today we recognise the generosity of Sir John Rade, who I'm certain would have been pleased that someone's service above self in the community, even outside Rotary, would be awarded each year in his name. And today we mark the extraordinary dedication of two such volunteers, each with a heartwarming story of unfettered commitment to their respective community causes. Their stories should remind us of the obligation that each of us has as a Rotarian to fulfill our organization's primary goal of providing service to others. It doesn't have to be done with a great flourish or with the expectation of audit. Quite simply, little acts of kindness can in themselves make a difference, while at the same time quietly giving us an enormous sense of satisfaction. So for good food and friendship through Rotary, we give thanks.
Thanks, Robert. Rotarians and guests, please be upstanding. A toast to Australia and Rotary International. Please be seated. We'll now break for lunch and resume around about 1:15 to 1:20. Those on Zoom, we'll have you in breakout rooms. Members, visitors and guests, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to our 30th meeting for the Rotary year and our 5,067th meeting in our 104th year. It's wonderful to see you all here today. It's a special day in the club's calendar, the awarding of the Sir John Rade Community Service Award. We are delighted to have a number of guests today with us, guests including Rade Pajic, Dildar Begum, our 2024-2025 Community Service recipients. Both will be more fully introduced shortly by our Chair of the Day, Philip Cornish. And a special shout out to Philip, who's been overseeing this whole process. He's put in many hours of work. He's made some really hard decisions with the team. And you're going to see the results of that today. Company Rade is Maria Selabek, Manager, Serbian Community Association of Australia, Incorporated, and supporters Rebecca Kartal and Julianne Gardner. Accompanying Dildar is her family and husband, Hamadullah, daughter Hamaria, son Mohammed Shah, and supporters from the Community Hub at Springvale Rise Primary School, Julie Rossetti, Debbie Cotter, and Jana Hovik. Would you please join me in welcoming them and their guests today? We also have today as our guest a past awardee. Emma, thank you for joining us today. And of course, we have Margaret Ross, daughter of Sir John Rade, sitting here today with us, and her husband Ian Ross, a member of our club. Please join me in welcoming them as well. Now we have a few visitors as well. Saula Drummond, if you'll please stand, a guest Peter Berg, and Jason Gribble, my guest here today. And please, a round of applause for them. Thank you. So I just wanted to give a few updates, and then we'll get to the course of the business for today. But for those of you that know Tony Greenwood, Tony's been unwell and has been in hospital for some serious kidney surgery. However, he is home and well and recovering. At the same time, unfortunately, his wife Wendy also had a medical episode. As Tony got out, she went into hospital. However, she's doing well and both are recovering. Tony's responding to emails and phone calls if you want to wish him well. I'd also like to acknowledge that Peter Aberthan is having his 50th wedding anniversary this weekend. So congratulations to Peter and his wife. Now, we have a very important announcement from Rosemary around footy tipping. Rosemary, over to you.
Thanks, President Catherine. Tomorrow fortnight, yes, that's the Thursday, 6th of March, is the first AFL match of the year. We have this opening round again, 4 interstate matches, starting off with Brisbane versus Geelong in Brisbane. Can you believe this? Football in the first week of March. So that means the footy tipping has to get organised. As you know, I took over the incredibly onerous mantle from Brute, who did a wonderful job for so many years. We now use the ESPN platform. So it's very easy if you're a current tipper, because you can just log in and start tipping. It would be very nice if you pay some money. It's going to go up this year, more money on prize money, $50 a year. An email will come to you through the tipping format plus in the bulletin. If you aren't on the list for footy tipping, the easiest way is if you email me and I can invite you, and those details will also be in the bulletin. But I'd like to welcome you all. Of course, this is an initiative of the Health and Ageing Committee, and we spend the proceeds on very wonderful activities. Thanks very much.
I'd also just like to acknowledge there's a few more guests that have arrived. Bet Langnat, Sharon Nagech, and Sandra Bonnet. So apologies. Thank you very much for joining us. Well, all right, and now to the business of the day. Please welcome President-elect Philip Cornish, who will take over as chair.
Greetings, everyone. I've got some instructions, and I promise to, by and large, follow them. So, it's a great day today. It's wonderful to see the Ross family here, and of course, the connections with Sir John Reid. And it's very special because it's something the club cherishes a lot, our connection with the previous presidents and philanthropists. And I think that's worthy of another round of applause. So we also have here last year's winner, Emma Saloa, who, of course, you might remember was very active in the Pacific Islander community. And John Ryman, she's interested in connecting her current agency with getting furniture for homeless people. So watch out, John. So, yes, I couldn't see you when I was sitting up there before. All right. But today we're really here to talk about Rade and Dildar, two people that we're acknowledging today from two different communities in the southeast of Melbourne, Keysborough and Springvale, but still at different stages. So one Rade with the Serbian community, which has been here for some time now in different waves. And one from the Rohingya community, which has been a much more recent community fleeing from Burma. So it's part of this rich story we have in our city, looking at different cultures. I'm just going to read the citations. So Rade Pajic has been a volunteer for a number of organisations over a great number of years. I haven't moved, it's the microphone, including Multiple Sclerosis Australia, the Southern Migrant Refugee Centre in Dandenong, and assisting the Serbian pensioner community in Keysborough, where he helped arrange and oversee lunch. You could do well with overseeing ours, rather. As part of a government-backed, it is his volunteer work with the Serbian Community Association of Australia, which began in 2014, that brought him to our attention. He has focused on engaging isolated elderly people, driving to many locations to talk to people in their own language. As part of a government-backed scheme called the Community Visitor Scheme, he visited residential care facilities. We sadly know that many people in residential aged care do not receive one visitor from 1 month to the next. Rade helped to make sure that wasn't true for some people. Rade's nominator highlighted the story of one person who he visited who had lost contact with his family. Rade didn't just talk to him in a home, he would take him to community events. Rade also helped him navigate the very complex system for accessing formal care and support from the aged care sector, and I think some of us who tried to do that knows how difficult that is. Even now, after his friend was admitted to residential care, he continued to visit until the resident's death. Rade has not just the gift of connection and assistance to the isolated and elderly, but the gift of friendship, a worthy winner. Our other winner is Dildar. Dildar Begum is a recently arrived refugee from the Rohingya community. Dildar first attended the Springvale Community Hub attached to the school in 2016. She learned English and became a volunteer with a playgroup, helping out where she continues to help with the school breakfast program. Dildar's volunteering capacity increased after her own children transitioned to school. Dildar and her family experiences has had many challenges. Dildar recognised that in the many tough times, she was helped by many people and uses this as an example to herself in her own life. Dildar cleverly used the opportunity of no school gardener to grow food at the school and use this and other food to cook and to serve to the women's wellbeing group, thus enriching the palates and lives of many by sharing Burmese cuisine for staff, visitors and refugees. Dildar doesn't just volunteer by action, but she models self-help-seeking strategies. Dildar was the first woman in the local Rohingya community to openly discuss seeking help from a GP, undergoing medication and attending counselling. This brave act broke the conservative community norms and has inspired other women to seek assistance and ask questions about their own mental health. She bravely shared her own personal trauma-related mental health issues to act as a model for others. The Springvale Community Hub, many of whom are here represented today, has continued to support other refugee women looking for mental health services using Dildar's profound example. Her impact is described to all women that despite obstacles and trauma, seeking help, receiving support and finding purpose are vital steps in overcoming adversities. Dildar is a worthy joint winner. Rade, Dildar, if you could join me up here, and with Catherine. So we'll make a presentation and then I'll ask both the recipients to speak. So Rade and Dildar, come up. You right? Okay. So,
Margaret, if you'd like to present that picture, well,
Thank you.
congratulations.
Thank you, madam.
A very long deserved. Careful words, teams.
it is heavy.
You won't need to go for any exercise. This is quite heavy.
Yeah. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So, I understand we've been practicing some of our talks. So if I can call on Rade and then Dildar, and then we'll open it up to, you're going to, okay. So Rade, would you like to say some words?
Yes.
I'll take this off you. It might be a bit hard to talk and do that.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for the making like this one party, for the joining
When I use this, is it on?
on.
Is it on? So,
For the joining all these people together. Sometimes I thinking, what is it? What we can be like this? That is love. That is trust. that is many, something what people is like to help somebody. They are all time thinking how we can help to somebody, how we make somebody happy. My life is all time. When I be young boy, my old parents and people talk to me when you're walking and see somebody old person, he has something in the hands. I can help those people. And that one is a little under my chest, what I do today. Very hard see people in the nursing. Many people have a lot of trouble, what we doesn't know. We coming, see that one people might be 10, 15 minutes, half hour, and we go. Yeah, that's people who live in the nursing home, or you live and die at night. In the nursing home, not having enough people working there. And that is why all people not have enough take care somebody for him. I'm every day in the some nursing home and try make people happy. Try talking something from the past life, and that past life is something in the old people head what he remember. What we said to him, what we have lunch last night, is forget. I don't know. And when I have culture to many people from many countries, I can speak to different people, and I start talking with the culture, with something. I have one lady, she already passed away, sorry for that. She's 91 months, less than 100 years. When I come in, she sit down and sleeping. When I start talk to her, she no understanding nothing. Your daughter coming, I don't know. And I don't know. And when you talking a little bit, your memory, and talking everything is talking, and Michael smile, Michael happy. That is what we need from many people who can do that. Not everybody can do that because you must born for to help somebody. If not born for to do the job, that is not quality job. That is something I'll be and I go. And I can say, I be doing. That is what I think. We must finance by how putting more people who that's job. Helping, who might get a love for the old people, because old people is sometimes from the family forget. Not have a lot of sons, daughters who have time for the parents. That is never trouble. We have talked hour and hour to finance some better by whatever old people in the nursing home. In the home, when somebody visiting home, I visiting many single people in 3 months. And that is what I want to talk to all people who make it like this organization, to put in more people who would take responsibility for that all people. I'm not just visitor for the old people. 1982, I opened ethnic school. It was an ethnic school in the Springvale. I'm working every Saturday, working from 8 o'clock to 1 o'clock. Nobody buy me nothing. I must make money for the buy teachers, for the buy rooms for the students, and make it picnic, dancing night, the nights, the night dance. I make visiting my student in the Belgrade, and making friends and nice and nice. Today, then from students came in. I don't know who is that one that is grow up. Next. Man, he understand who I am. No, I don't understand who is it. That is my fine. That is my what I do. Thank you very much for that. It's really good and thank you.
I hear very important messages there. I think some of us might look forward to visitors when we're in our residential facilities. But it is absolutely critical that we have people like Rade doing that. So, Dildar, if I could hand this over to you and let you give a presentation, then we'll ask questions at the end. Sorry?
Okay.
Hi everyone, I'm Dildar and I am really happy to be here with all of you today. I want to share a little bit about my family and the amazing Springvale community. I came to Australia in 2012 with my two other kids, Humaira and Mohammad. We wanted a better life. After waiting 11 years, we finally got a permanent resident. My two younger kids, Hakisha and Samaira, were born in Australia. They also go to school, Primrose Primary School, and went to playgroup when they were babies. They left it here, and I am so proud of them. I have been part of community for a long time. I have attended English class and playgroup where I have made great friends and learned a lot. Now I am volunteering here, helping the children and new family settle in because I understand what it's like to live in a new country. It was very hard for me. It was very hard for me. Some had depression, but they were to get help. Now I am telling others to do the same and to talk about how to heal. The support I have received from this community has been amazing. I'm very thankful for the kindness and friendship that some up here. To all of you, thank you for your kindness and friendship. It means the world to me and my family. Let's keep supporting each other and making our community even better. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dildar. And I think it's important to add at the moment that the course of a trust that we run for the Sir John Reid Award. We had a provision to provide I still want to say a check. We won't be sending a check. We'll be doing a bank transfer to a nominated public benevolent institution, DGR1, deductible gift recipient 1 status organisation, for that Rade and Dildar nominate, of $10,000 each. Well, high interest rates are really not good for the economy. We all know that, but it's very good for trade. So that provides that generosity. So I guess, Dildar, what I'd like to be just to talk about for a minute, I might get Rade up here in a second before we throw open some other questions, is how important is having services at your school being to you as opposed to having services in the community?
School.
Yeah, do you want
Well, has been important for our community getting. It's
very important.
100%.
It's
100%.
100% important, and
Yeah.
it'll help us a lot.
to? Okay. So I might actually call Marina and maybe Deb up to help. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Just to talk a little bit about the sort of need an older migrant community and also a younger community. So, Marina, do you want to start off?
So, good afternoon. My name is Marina Televic. I work for the Serbian Community Association of Australia. I'm the manager. I've been with the organization for 25 years. Back then, when I started, visiting, there was a huge influx of refugees for many years. We were actually funded by the Department of Immigration for helping refugees. But in the meantime, those people became older, and our community, as many European communities, actually are getting older and need more help with the aged care services. So in the last couple of years, actually maybe the last 10 years, we've been very proactive and working with the elderly in our community. As you know, we had maybe the biggest and influx of Serbian people and people from former Yugoslavia, obviously in 60s and 70s. And those young people back then, now many of them in retirement and very old. But these people were working hard. Many of them actually they didn't learn English quite well, and since they're not working, obviously, and staying with the community, they're speaking more Serbian, so English is actually not so important for them. I mean, to communicate with their children and friends, and obviously now when they're coming to aged care facilities, many of them are having lots of problems in communicating with others, especially where you've got people in an aged care facility where there is just one person who speaks Serbian language, and that's actually the resident. So we've got many volunteers who are helping us in the southeastern region, but also we cover western region, city of Brisbane and the surrounding areas. We've got around 15 volunteers, but Rade is the busiest man out of all of them because he can't say no. He's actually always finding more people and telling us, there is another person in this facility. I have to visit him. So obviously there is a system in place where we need to record these visits, and obviously we are funded with the Department of Health. It's federal government where we are reporting about the number of people we are visiting. But this is a great program, and it's funded for another year or so. But for many years, Rade has been our volunteer for the last 10 years, or actually almost 11. And it's not just the Serbian community. Whoever can speak, whether it's from Macedonian or and similar Slavic languages, where is willing to speak to help, and I appreciate also this award, for Rade, that you recognize that his achievement and also the contribution for our organization, which is a smaller community organization funded by mostly Australian federal government, but also the state government. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, I've looked about how many cultures and needs you have at your school.
So, Stephen Babel with the Rotary was I'm Debbie Collier. I'm principal of Springvale Lives Primary School, and I'm extremely grateful evening today and I'm representing our broader community. Just to have a little bit of a shout out to some very people who are cut my lines or and they've been late. We both are here, a bit of tennis and usually from Community Hub is trying down to those who don't know. Community Hub is really on the amazing people who make all the things Community Hubs happen in schools my house. We've been partners with Community Hub for really over a decade now. We teach that little celebration on potentially at the end of 2023 actually, and we're planning for a while. And you will behind the last wall, and the end was from that into the line out on our organization. So the very first new learnings on that sound is your number. Usually we're in the here about the hall later, we got an overmatch in and through the laws or hopefully theory hall. But to answer your question, at Springvale Lives Primary School, we have about 40 different nationalities, mostly both backgrounds. They've done 35 different languages, and our therapy, all of our hosts depend on that. So it's strongly culturally diverse community, absolutely gorgeous community. There's with that, this was about children know. Most of them actually come from a farm, from Burma. But in Boston. Many of them are with here. Many of them have a refugee story, or at least an inheritance story. Some of them, many of them are actually born in Burnley, but their parents have not had any education. And so we spend a lot of our time really working with families. We know most days in a cheeky way that if we build the capacity, we're really capacity families. So we spend a lot of time with mums. And we spend a lot of time building their capacity. With English classes, we make health work with an fine crew, and we work on the 4 pillars that the Community Hubs Australia has as part of their work, which is engagement. And often we talk about engagement in regard to engagement with community, but it's engagement with mental health services, engagement with whatever things that our family comes with. Is there any Charlotte would work? And within Charlotte space, it's actually your space that we know makes a difference. It's English classes on the foreigners, and the other one's career pathways. We teach you a little bit about it. Now, basically, the other 3 pillars are really our bread and butter. Reading that today is amazing. So now I'm in your role model with the concept talking about mental health and all you've done today, that gave me goosebumps. Not only does she open up doors for our women to talk about mental health, we talk about women's health. We talk about clients that have breast cancer. We don't talk about stuff that we don't even talk about. So, she is a leader in my eyes. So, I really cannot advocate enough about how lovely lady has not been born to this time that she volunteered. I get the piece of who she is from her home, and she's doing that. She ain't friends. So, thank you so much to Rotary Melbourne. And we really appreciate it. And you got all now she goes guys. And I think don't think they can actually make to which Melanie ran, which is nice. Thank you.
Thank you. So, right, if we're come up, we'll take some questions if you're happy to take questions. Yeah. Okay. So, I can give a bit of a roving life. Does anyone want to make any questions of either of our speakers or the honorees? Thank you. We don't have any questions. Can I just reiterate what a wonderful opportunity we've had here to see people in action in different communities in Melbourne at different stages of their journey in this great country. And we'll have an opportunity now for finishing dessert, having a coffee, and then we'll close very shortly in a few minutes. So thank you, and enjoy yourselves, chat to each other, and then we'll close the meeting in a few minutes. Thank you. So it's time to close. I'd like to thank our MC. Where's the marvellous Rosemary? There you are. Thank you. And also good to give us a footy tip. I'm absolutely horrified we've got 2 weeks before football season, but there we are. Robert Fisher, that wonderful reflection, thinking about the contribution of Rotarians over the decades. And especially our lunch setup and reception team, you are not unvalued, but you're unrewarded. But thank you very sincerely for your efforts. A reminder that next week we are here again for lunch. We will be hosting a special members lunch with project and new member updates. Please join us to hear more of the community projects and activities of your club. And after we close with the national anthem, could I ask the awardees and the Rade family to come up, and we'll do some photos, because you can't do a presentation like this without heaps of photos.